This time I call the September meeting of the County Commission to order. We have with us tonight Reverend T. Brooks Brown. That sounds more like a country music singer than it does a preacher. I've known Mr. Brown for many, many years, knew his mother and daddy, Mr. Arthur Brown, Miss Louise over at Crawfordville, Sharon, really. Mr. Reverend Brown is the pastor of Midway Church of Lincoln County. He has a very, very tough job as being the pastor of Commissioner Henderson. Reverend, if you come to the podium and speak into that microphone, and after you finish the invocation, we'll remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance. And Commissioner Clyde, will you do that?
Yes, sir.
Lord, we come here tonight with the direction of guiding this wonderful county and the direction of the Board of Commissioners. We ask now, Lord, that you give them the knowledge that is needed, patience, the understanding of each issue that might be brought before them, and that these things are done with you in mind, keeping everything and you being glory. We bless each and every member here. We thank you for your presence. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We're going to try to move this meeting a little bit faster than normal. A lot of schools in the neighborhood changed the football games from Friday night to tonight in anticipation of tomorrow's weather. Director Walton, there's been a statistician down there on the sideline for about 40-something years. So we're gonna move it, but I do want you to know that most everything on this agenda has gone before the commission in our work session last week, so we're real familiar with everything that's on the agenda tonight. Commissioner Collins is out of town and out of state really, and he's not here tonight. And the county attorney, we excuse him. He's at the University of Georgia in Athens, and I guess Colvinston Institute or somewhere at a county attorney's school, so we excused him for tonight. Is there a motion that we adopt the minutes as sent to you?
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Second?
Second, Mr. Chairman.
Motion by Commissioner Tankersley, second by Commissioner Clyde. Any discussion on the motion? Chair hears none. All in favor of the motion, let me know by saying aye.
Aye.
Item 5 is the approval of the agenda. Is there a motion that we approve the agenda as printed?
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Second?
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Henderson, second by Commissioner Clyde. Any discussion on the motion? Chair hears none. All in favor of the motion, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, like sign. Motion's carried. Item 6, departmental reports. Office of Emergency Service Director Casey Brew.
Good evening, Chairman. You like how I got up here quick, right? Commissioner and Chairman, y'all have my reports. I have nothing to add at this time unless there are questions.
Any questions to Director Dawes?
That'd be Director Brown, Chairman.
I mean Broom. Okay, I'm sorry. Don't shoot me. Okay, thank you. 6B is the Recreation Department. Director Glaze is not here. You know where he is. They had the recreation complex, and I imagine if it was like it was Tuesday night when I was out there, there's probably 300 or so people out there. But you have a report from him, and we know what he is. All right, 6C is Finance Director Dawson. If you'll run through that right quick.
Yes, Mr. Chairman Norman. You have my printer reports, and I'll give you our cash accounts. The major accounts, general fund, end of August balance was $3,199,544. The SPLOST 7 fund, $1,972,513. The Transportation SPLOST fund, $1,708,235. The American Rescue Plan Fund, $745,148. The solid waste fund, $688,743. And finally, the emergency fund, $306,345. We have several other funds, but those were the major funds. The total balance of all of our funds at the end of August was $9,435,019. Our Raymond James investment accounts are 12-month CDs, $1,623,160. Our Raymond James enhanced savings account, $526,654. Total in the Raymond James accounts is $2,149,814. Our total cash in bank and investment accounts, $11,584,833. Chairman, that's my report.
Any questions to Director Doss? 6D, Public Works, Director Iker.
Chairman and Commissioners, you have my reports. Do you have any questions?
Any questions from her? I just noticed the House building was a little off this month of August. But you say you got a good many going through the process over that now. That's good. Okay, any questions? There being none, 6E is the community development. You got anything with community development? Just looking at your report. She's working a dual role. We don't have a public works director right now, and she's having to fill in for that as well as Department of Community Development. So that was part of that too, I guess, but it's all in your book. Item 7 is the tax levy resolution. I think we received from both the Board of Education and the Development Authority, Director Doss.
Chairman, Commissioners, I will read the resolution. State of Georgia, County of Lincoln, resolution. Approval of the tax levy for fiscal year ending June 30th. Chairman, I have a typo there. I apologize. Fiscal year ending June 30th, 2025. Whereas the Board of Commissioners of Lincoln County, sitting for county purposes this 12th day of September 2024, does hereby order that there be collected by the Tax Commissioner of Lincoln County, Georgia, for the tax year 2024, such amounts as may be produced by the following tax rates for the county purposes to wit. County, 7.3961 mils, and whereas upon the direction of the Board of Education for Lincoln County, Georgia, it is hereby ordered that there shall be levied and assessed upon property tax subject to taxation for educational purposes the following tax rates to wit. School maintenance and operations, 14.579 mils. School bonds, 2.0620 mils. And whereas for the purpose of industrial and economic development on behalf of the Development Authority for Lincoln County, Georgia, it is ordered that there shall be levied and assessed the following tax rate for industrial and economic purposes to wit. Development Authority, 0.6950 mils. And whereas the total of all tax rates equals 24.6961 mils, and whereas it is ordered pursuant to the Code of Lincoln County, Georgia, at Chapter 58-150, that the minimum assessment for residential solid waste for residents of all unincorporated areas of Lincoln County, it is hereby set at $255.36 per owner or occupant of each dwelling, including all residential units located in manufactured home parks or boat clubs. It is now, therefore, be it resolved that the Tax Commissioner of Lincoln County, Georgia, is ordered to collect all said taxes for county, school, and industrial purposes as levied for tax year 2024, and to pay them over to the proper authorities as required by law. This resolution shall be recorded in the minutes of the Lincoln County Board of Commissioners, duly read, approved, and adopted by the Lincoln County Board of Commissioners this 12th day of September 2024. Chairman.
Okay, before we do that, I'm gonna make this quicker than I had planned to do. I might pick back up on it a little bit next month. I think you just heard, and I want to be sure that we understand that the county, we have 3 levying You have the county commission levies for all county purposes, school for the Board of Education to run the school system. The development authority to operate the development authority by law. They can, on their own, go to 1 meal of tax. They're just fraction over half a meal. And then, of course, we have nothing to do with this. This does not go on our tax bills, but the city of Lincoln, if you live in this town, they levy a separate tax. Lincoln County for the last 6 years has reduced the millage rate according to the rollbacks that we can do. The process is if you don't roll back, you have to have 3 public hearings. We haven't had one in 4 or 5 years, maybe 6. You can use the natural growth of the county. That's new houses, new construction, new commercial, new whatever. The reassessment part of this is the ones that always gets people more upset than anything else. The assessment of your new property we can get. And if you look at what that is, and I'm trying to explain it for the people that look on YouTube too, had the county not rolled back the amount that we have to roll back because of assessed value, new reassessment, we would have received over last year's digested millage rate, we would have received $442,424 in new money that we didn't get. That's more money than we had from last year. With the rollback that we are doing, and we rolled it back all the way, we will only receive in real dollars to operate this government from July 24 to June of 25. All new money coming from taxes is $101,333, which means that we reduced the part that the county would have received by $341,091. I can tell you, the raises, and they were 3% raises for the most part, of the county's underpaid employees, well exceeded the $101,000 of new money we get for property tax. Where did it come from? It came from some money we didn't spend all our money that we budgeted. We got a little more money than in revenues that we got. Less than 30% of Lincoln County's total general fund budget of $8.3 million comes from property tax. Now, I want to break that down one more time. Of the $8.3 million general fund budget, which the general funds was supplemented by that 3.1 from property tax, means we getting $5.2 million from somewhere else. And I want to say this too, if you look at the county's budget, the $3.1 million that we receive from all property tax across the county to the county commission to run the county government, exclude the other, is not enough money to fund the sheriff's department, or the sheriff's office, the jail, and EMS. It costs more than $3.1 million just to operate those 3 agencies. So the rest of Lincoln County government is run from something other than property tax. If you go and look at millage rates, and that's what you have to go by, and you look at it statewide, you go to Department of Revenue, State Department of Revenue's website and look at it, we're going to be in the vast majority of being in the lowest counties that assesses millage rates. So way more counties have more than 7.3 mills of tax. Warren County is somewhere around 15, Wilkes County is 11, we 7. So that's what happens. I commend our department heads, both appointed and constitutional officers, for the budgets that they send and for working with us to keep from having to spend any more than we want to have. But I can tell you, in wrapping this up, we got about 4 items in our budget that's pages long that increased over $500,000 that we didn't have any say-so over. Insurances. 2 years ago, Lincoln County's health insurance cost the county $600. Now it's over $1,000 in 2 years. So it's tough to make these things meet. When you go to the grocery store, I told somebody the other day, I'm fixing to hush, Johnny, I promise. I said, most people in Lincoln County, in county taxes, not the others, doesn't pay enough county taxes in a year to pay the county's phone bill in a month. Just the phone bill. Our phone bill is nearly $5,000 a month. So, I mean, it's tough to see, to make it work, but we have done the very best we can do, and practically all we can do, in rolling back like we've done for the last few years to try to offset the values of people's property. And we don't set that. The tax assessor has to do it by guidelines that the state of Georgia does. County commissioners don't have nothing to do with the tax assessor's office. We appoint 5 members to that board, and you read the law on it, it excludes us from having any. We don't hire the employee. We don't even hire the chief tax appraiser. So I think we have done a very good job with the budget and with the expenses of what we have done. So I have a pie chart, and I think I'll have it put on the website. But Lincoln County represents 29.95% of the total taxes you pay. So I got the pie chart, and it looks good, but I'm gonna leave that alone. We are at I need a motion to approve the tax levy for the county, the school, and for the development authority. Is there a motion?
I so move, Mr. Chairman.
I'll second, Mr. Chairman.
Got a motion by Commissioner Clyde, second by Commissioner Henderson. Any discussion from any of the commissioners? Now I call for a vote. All in favor of the motion, let me know by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, like sign. The motion's carried. Commissioners, before you leave, check with the clerk. You got to sign this before we leave. So be sure don't leave without signing, because we want to get this wrapped up maybe tomorrow. No, we won't do it tomorrow, but Ernie will be here maybe Monday. Next item on the agenda, commissioners, you have something that I had placed in your books today. If you remember a few weeks ago, maybe 6 weeks ago, Commissioner Clyde and I met on behalf of the board with some DOT people. We have been trying our best to get some money from the Georgia Department of Transportation to help with a project that we've been working on a long time. Couldn't get it last year. But I am proud to announce that DOT notified me last week that we will be the recipients of up to $500,000 to do the improvements Commissioner Clyde and Commissioner Tanksley and both of y'all's almost shared districts down that way, of improvements to Ashmore-Barton Road. For those that are familiar with Ashmore-Barton Road, it's on the Augusta Highway before you cross over into Columbia County, about a mile or so. A lot of traffic turns. It's a heavy traveled road, Ashmore-Barton Road, truck and car. There will be a lane if you're coming toward Lincoln. There'll be an additional lane added to the right, so you can, and widening of the intersection out there within the existing right-of-way. But you'll not have to stop the traffic. If you're going from Lincoln toward Augusta, and a truck is turning, making a left turn into Ashmore-Barton Road, and oncoming traffic coming toward Lincoln is coming, you stuck behind that traffic, you can't turn. A right-hand passing lane will be put there. So when trucks are waiting to make a left-hand turn, you'll be able to go around that traffic. So, and it will be street lighted and all. That's gonna be a major improvement to Ashmore Barton Road. And, we want to thank the DOT. They've been mighty good to us this year on a lot of things. So the letting of this will be, I got it written down somewhere, but I think it's December. Will be the letting of this. So sometime right after the first of the year, hopefully, construction will be able to get started in 25 and completed in 25. So y'all have all this information in your books now that I couldn't release until today. The Lincoln Journal's here, but if you would get a copy of it, we're proud of this accomplishment. I could talk a lot longer, but I'm moving on. Any questions on that? Item 9 is the alcoholic application, Clerk McKellar.
Yes, sir. You have before you Kristen Keebler with Southern Fox Winery applying for 3 different alcohol licenses. The first will be a Class A consumption of beer and wine on premises. He has met all of his recommendations.
Okay, you heard the request for the consumption of beer and wine on Class A. She's met all the regulations according to the clerk. Is there a motion that we approve this Class A beer and wine application?
I'll make that motion, Mr. Chairman.
Second,
I'll second, Mr. Chairman.
motion by Commissioner Clyde, second by Commissioner Henderson. Any discussion on the motion? Chair hears none. All in favor of the motion, let me know by saying aye.
Aye.
Clerk McKellar.
They are also applying for a Class B consumption of beer and wine on premises.
Okay, she's met all the qualifications on that one.
Yes, sir.
Okay, it is for the consumption of beer and wine on premises. There are motion that we approve it.
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
A second,
I'll second, Mr. Chairman.
any discussion on the motion? Made by Commissioner Henderson, second by Commissioner Tyson. All in favor of the motion, let me know by saying aye.
Aye.
Clerk McKellar.
Yes, sir. And they're the first to ever apply for a Class F tasting room farm winery license. They again have met all the requirements.
This is the first one of these we've ever done, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
The proud owners of this winery, and that they're doing a lot of work down there, is in the audience down here. And we're still having to make some adjustments to our ordinance to get some of this done, but we're proud to have a winery. So we got a brewery now we got a winery. With all these road improvements and roundabouts, you better be careful how much of it you're tasting. Is there a motion, they met all their requirements, correct?
Yes, sir.
Is there a motion that we do a Class F for the first time? They're making history to us of a tasting room for the farm winery.
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
That's second.
That's second, Mr. Chairman.
Motion by Commissioner Tankersley, second by Commissioner Clyde. Any discussion on the motion?
Mr. Chairman,
Commissioner Tankersley,
I did want to be recorded as being the first one to make the motion to approve that tasting.
you wanted to make a little history, didn't you?
Yeah.
All in favor of the motion, let me know by saying aye. All opposed, like sign. The motion is carried. Congratulations. When can we taste a little of that wine? Huh?
Mid-October.
Mid-October, okay. Mr. Tankersley will be the first one to taste it. So if you put a little strychnine in it or something. Item 10 is a new patrol cause for the Sheriff's Department, Lieutenant Mars. This gentleman's name is Philip Mars,
Cigarette.
and his nickname is Cigarette.
Yeah, good evening, Chairman and Commissioners. I'm here to seek approval for the 2 patrol vehicles that we discussed in the work session.
Okay, we discussed this at the work session. We got 2 patrol cars. They're Ford Explorers, exactly like we bought last year and the last few years. They all be the same color and look the same. Those 2 cars are total for the purchase of the 2 cars is $85,648. That's, Director Dawes, I don't need a motion for each one individually, do I?
No, sir, I have a motion. If you let me read it, I'll read you the motion.
Proceed.
Purchase
You
two
just cut
silver
me
Ford,
off, didn't you?
purchase two silver Ford Explorers from Wade Ford in Smyrna, Georgia, at a total cost of $85,648, with 50% of the funds coming from SPLOST 7 and 50% of the funds coming from ARP. The cost of each vehicle is $42,824. Chairman, that's the motion.
Do we need to, I guess we got to make this separate from the other two?
I got two more.
Okay. All right, you heard it from the finance director. Is there a motion that we accept the recommendation in the purchase of these two vehicles for $85,648?
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Second,
I'll second, Mr. Chairman.
motion by Commissioner Tankers, second by Commissioner Henderson. Any discussion on the motion? Chair is none. All in favor of the motion, let it be known by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, like sign. Motion is carried. Director Dawson.
Chairman Norman, the second motion will be to purchase two emergency vehicle packages from Dana Safety Supply in Rincon, Georgia, at a total cost of $23,335.46, with 50% of the funds coming from SPLOST 7 and 50% of the funds coming from ARP. The cost per vehicle is $11,667.73. Chairman.
Okay, that's a total for the two vehicles, $23,335.46. That's what you do to put the cages in them, all the radios. You got a blue light on every hole they can find and stick one on to blind you when you go by them. But that's what it costs per car to do all of that with. That's caged everything. All right, and we did have bids from other people. We just didn't read them, so we're going by the lowest bid. Wade Ford was the lowest bid. There a motion that we accept the recommendation.
I make the motion, Mr. Chairman.
Motion by Commissioner Clyde, is second.
Second, Mr. Chairman.
Second by Commissioner Henderson. Any discussion on the motion? There is none. All in favor of the motion, let it be known by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, like sign. Motion is carried. Director Dawson.
Chairman, the last motion, purchase two graphics packages from AKO Signs in Athens, Georgia, at a total cost of $700, with 50% of the funding coming from SPLOST 7, 50% of the funding coming from ARP. The cost per vehicle is $350. Chairman.
A total of $700 from AKO Signs. That's to put Lincoln County Sheriff's Department on the side of it. And those are reflective signs and all. That motion that we accept this recommendation from the Finance Department of $700.
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
My motion is our second.
I second, Mr. Chairman.
Motion by Commissioner Henderson, second by Commissioner Clyde. Any discussion on the motion? Chair is none. All in favor of the motion, let it be known by saying aye. Aye. Let me tell you, ARP, American Rescue Plan, that's COVID money the federal government gave us. SPLOST 7 is what people in Lincoln County voted on, and we prorated out, so none of this expenditure came from general fund, which is supplemented by property taxes. So it's luckily that we have those. Item number 11 is a dishwasher for the jail. Lieutenant Cobb, is turn that over to you.
Yes, sir, Chairman.
Go ahead.
Chairman, Commissioners, as we discussed, the dishwasher in the jail is many years old. It is needs to be replaced. We've received two quotes. The lowest appropriate quote is from Norvell Fixture and Equipment Company out of Augusta, and the cost to replace and install the dishwasher is $6,815. That would come from general fund in the jail repair budget. The recommendation is to replace the dishwasher from Norvell at $6,815.
Okay, we had bids on it too. This was the lowest bid. That's a pretty good dishwasher. $6,815 Norvell. Is our motion we accept the recommendation to purchase the dishwasher?
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Second.
I second, Mr. Chairman.
Motion by Commissioner Tankers, second by Commissioner Clyde. Any discussion on the motion? Chair is none. All in favor of the motion, let it be known by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, like sign. Motion is carried. Item number 12, Georgia Food Services Agreement and Director Deal. these people were at the work session. Director Deal's got a sick child, and I told her she didn't have to come to Director Dawes.
Chairman, Commissioners, this is, we already contracted with this company. They provide the food, and we get paid from the CSRA RC Area on Agency for senior nutrition. We paid this, the chairman asked about this, we paid this vendor $50,705 last year. We received $58,816 in reimbursement from the CSRA on that. The rates are locked in. We're currently paying these rates, and they're locked in through September of next year. It's a federal grant pays for this, so it's on the federal grant cycle, the federal budget cycle. The agreement does not have any objectionable provisions, and we recommend the board go ahead and renew this agreement. It'll be a one-year agreement with 3 one-year extensions.
Okay, this is to feed the senior citizens program over the Leisure Service Department, where this goes. Is there a motion that we accept the food services agreement for leisure services?
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
That's second.
I second.
Motion by Commissioner Tankley, second by Commissioner Clyde. Any discussion? There is none. All in favor of the motion, let me know by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, like sign. Motion carried. Director Iker, come forward. We got the Scott Recycling Director Iker.
Chairman and Commissioners, you have an agreement in your books for Scott Recycling to begin picking up the electronic recyclables out at the transfer station.
Okay, we discussed this at the work session also. I think it costs us 50 cents a pound. We got a trailer load out there. Is there a motion that we approve the agreement with Scott Recycling to pick up the recyclable computers and that type of thing at the transfer station? Need a motion.
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Second.
Second, Mr. Chairman.
A motion by Commissioner Henderson, second by Commissioner Clyde. Any discussion? Chair is none. All in favor of the motion, let it be known by saying aye. Aye. Thank you, Director Iker. Recreation Department improvements, I'm gonna take that or you. I got it. We got we discussed this at length and with Director Glaze last week at the work session. I think you all know what it is. It's working on a good many of the fields and some things at the complex. This again is funded through the special purpose local option sales tax number 7 that the people voted on. We budgeted so much for recreation. This is it. It's a total of $125,925. 75,952 is diversified, and the other 50 is for sand and different things that we discussed and talked about doing. So the total amount, including diversified, is $125,925. Is there a motion?
I make the motion, Mr. Chairman.
The second.
Now, second, Mr. Chairman.
Motion by Commissioner Clyde, second by Commissioner Henderson. Any discussion on the motion? There is none. All in favor of the motion, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
Budget Amendment, Animal Services, Director Dawes.
Chairman, Commissioners, we need to move $1,000 from the general fund contingency line item to the Animal Services Board budget. That would be $600 for salary, $50 for payroll taxes, and $450 for supplies. This would be budget neutral. It does not affect the bottom line of the budget. We're just simply shifting funds from one department to another department. The contingency fund had a $57,000 budget, so it would leave it with $56,000.
Okay, you heard the recommendation from the Finance Director. It's budget neutral, but we open it up and put it under Animal Services and take it out of contingency. Is there a motion?
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Second.
Second, Mr. Chairman.
Motion by Commissioner Tankersley, second by Commissioner Henderson. Any discussion on the motion? Chair is none. All in favor of the motion, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, like sign. Motion carried. Item 16 is noise ordinance, second reading. Mr. Jackson. Mr. Jackson not here, but the reason this came up, you must have heard, aren't you? Yeah. Okay. I've tried to call you 2 or 3 times and I can't get you. I've been up through that, you all bailing, hey, I know where you've been. I saw you over there. fact, I went up through that today. I said, I hope you get all that pretty hay up before it rains. Okay, let me tell you where we are with the noise ordinance. It just dawned on me who you was. First time I've ever seen you, but I got a feeling that was you. During our work session, the commissioners had no problem with really what you were talking about, and that's 11 p.m. to 7 p.m. That's going to be left out of it. So I think Commissioner Tanks, if I can remember what he said, you know, what difference does it make if you're messing somebody up at 12 o'clock in the morning or 12 o'clock at night? It's a problem. Anyway, that's coming out. You getting what you want on what you asked for on that. That will be struck from it. We came across, though, something else that we had that we were not very as clear on as the commissioners wanted to be. Mr. Jackson's been out of town not since then, but he's been out of town. So we decided at the work session last week that we would table the second reading of this ordinance until the October meeting so we can do some rewording and getting it redone and making a few changes to a few other things. Once we get that done, it might not lay out for the whole month, but if you watch the website, it will be placed on the website as soon as we get what we're going to probably vote on in October. But your part is done. It'll be included. Okay, is there a motion that we postpone the second reading of the noise ordinance till the October meeting?
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Second?
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Tank, second by Commissioner Clyde. Any discussion on the motion? Chair hears none. All in favor of the motion, let it be known saying aye. Aye. All opposed, like sign. Motion is carried. Item 17 is the DBHDD board appointment. That's the board that Nancy Dawkins had served on. And I talked to her Monday, I think. Anyway, she's gonna let me know. So we just postponing this. This will be brought back up at the October meeting. Try to be in a position to appoint somebody. That is a Georgia Department of Behavioral and Health Developmental Disabilities Board is what those acronyms are for. They meet in Augusta in different places. About 40 counties is involved in it, and there's no pay, so it's hard to find somebody to serve. If there's not any objection from a member of the commission, we're going to postpone that till the October meeting. Item 18 is the FY25 membership dues assessments to the Central Savannah River Area Planning Regional Commission. We have to vote to do this. It is a budgeted item in the general fund budget. This is another state mandate. We have no choice but to adopt it and pay it. State law says we have to. It's based on population. The amount that we have to pay the Central Savannah River Area Regional Commission is $7,231.20. Is there a motion?
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Second?
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Henderson, second by Commissioner Clyde. And we discussed this too. Any discussion on it? Chair is none. All in favor of the motion, let it be known by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, like sign. Motion is carried. That completes our agenda. We need a motion to adjourn. Is there a motion?
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Second.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Tankersley, second by Commissioner Clyde. Any discussion on the motion to adjourn? Chair hears none. All in favor of the motion, let it be known by saying aye. All opposed, like sign. The motion is carried and we stand adjourned.